And welcome tonight. Diana, can you do a roll call, please?
I can, Your Worship. I can confirm that the Director of Development Services, Adam Betteridge, and I, Deputy Clerk Diana Wilson, are in attendance in the Township office. For those participating by video conference, please answer present when your name is called. Mayor Mennel.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Jaguar.
Present.
Councillor Widner.
Present.
Councillor Moore.
Present.
Councillor Cerna.
Present.
Councillor Lewis.
Present.
Councillor Galinsky.
Present.
Director of Finance, Arun O'Healy. Present. Director of Public Works, Matt Sweetland.
Present.
Manager of IT, Cecil Coxon.
Present.
Acting Fire Chief, Don McLean.
Present.
HR Manager, Gwen Tracy.
Present.
And that's everyone.
Thanks, Diana. Disclosure of pecuniary interest and general nature thereof. Seeing none, we have a bit of a change on the agenda. There is a bylaw to appoint Adam as the CAO as of tonight. The original plan was wait until Michelle retired at the end of the month. But since then, we found it's really been awkward because if there's anything needs signing or staff needed to talk to somebody, they weren't talking to Adam, they were talking to Michelle. So we thought for ease of transition that tonight we should move Adam into the CAO position and then he can carry on from there. So any questions or comments on that? Okay. Mover and seconder, bylaw number 21-45, being a bylaw to appoint Chief Administrative Officer, Deputy Clerk for the Township of Malahide, be given a first and second, third reading, properly signed and sealed.
I'll move it.
Cerna and Galinsky, I think. All in favor?
Councillor Widner.
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Councillor Cerna.
Yes.
Councillor Lewis.
Yes.
Councillor Galinsky.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jaguar.
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
Okay. Congratulations, Adam. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Your Worship. I'm very much looking forward to this opportunity. Thankful for council's support through the recruitment process and look forward to serving Malahide residents and staff in a tremendous manner. So I very much appreciate it and looking forward to this.
Adam said this is a process kind of like having a fire hose shoved down your throat, trying to absorb everything in 2 hours. So good luck with it, Adam.
Thank you.
The minutes from May 20th, was there any errors or omissions? Seeing none, mover and seconder for those minutes, please.
Move it.
Moore,
Second it.
Jaguar, all in favor?
Councillor Widner.
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Councillor Cerna.
Yes.
Councillor Lewis.
Yes.
Councillor Galinsky.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jaguar.
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes,
That's carried.
thank you. And the minutes from the special meeting on May 19th, any errors or omissions on that one? Seeing none, mover and seconder for those minutes, please.
I'll move it.
Cerna,
Second it.
Lewis, all in favor?
Councillor Widner.
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Councillor Cerna.
Yes.
Councillor Lewis.
Yes.
Councillor Galinsky.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jaguar.
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes,
That's carried.
thank you. And finally, the special meeting on May 27th, any errors or omissions on that one? Seeing none, mover and seconder, please.
Do it.
Lewis, seconder. Jaguar, all in favor?
Councillor Widner.
Yes.
Councillor Moore.
Yes.
Councillor Cerna.
Yes.
Councillor Lewis.
Yes.
Councillor Galinsky.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jaguar.
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
Thank you. Next, we have a committee of adjustment. So I need a mover and second of the committee of adjustment of the Township of Malahide be called to order at 7:35. And the Mayor Mennel be appointed chairman of the committee. Mover and seconder, please.
I'll move it.
Widner and who seconded it?
Second it.
Lewis, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
yes,
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Jager,
yes,
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
Thank you. The purpose of this hearing is to consider an application for a minor variance submitted by 2660711 Ontario Inc., Jake Penner. Application number D13 MV0321, part lot 14, concession 7. Municipally known as 49610 Talbot Line, geographic township of Malahide. Adam, can you give an overview, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chair. The committee may recall us sitting as council last year that this property obtained a site-specific zoning bylaw amendment to allow a 4-unit residential townhouse in the subject property. And through detailed design in preparation for a site plan agreement, it was acknowledged that the zoning bylaw passed last year by council needed minor relief due to the setbacks and the gross floor area requirements that were imposed by the zoning bylaw. So a minor variance is required based on those slight adjustments needed. The Planning Act does include a provision, and this is more of an urban requirement because what more cities were seeing were taller skyscraper condominium type buildings being built and getting a zoning bylaw for a certain height, and then the developer coming right back with a minor variance to add more floors on that. So there's a provision in the Planning Act that requires if a property's been zoned within 2 years, it can't get a minor variance unless the municipality allows for that to occur. So staff really has no concerns with what's proposed through this minor variance. There are slight adjustments to what was originally contemplated last year. Site plan control is still a requirement as was imposed last year. So there's two recommended conditions being added. One, that a site plan application or a site plan agreement be executed with council within 2 years. And also that the Township of Malahide Council provide relief from that specific section of the Planning Act. And that can be done, I envision the next meeting of council on the 17th, I believe, satisfying both of those requirements, the site plan and relief from that clause. There haven't been any concerns. There were a handful of comments received, one from the Catfish Creek Conservation Authority and another from the MTO, both having no concerns. So unless there's nothing, any questions from committee members or those in the audience, there's nothing further to add to my report.
Okay, thanks, Adam. Is the applicant or the agent online? I don't see them. Diana, Adam's already referred to the Catfish and MTO. Is there any other comments?
No, your worship, there were no further comments.
Any questions from the committee? Okay, there is a 20-day appeal period, but I need a mover and second. Report number DS 2121 entitled Minor Variance Application D13 MV0321 of 260711 Ontario Inc., Jake Penner, affecting lands described as South Part Lot 14, Concession 7, South Part Lot 87, NTR, further be described as Parts 1 to 4, RPN 11R 573 in the Township of Malahide, 49610 Talbot Line be received. And the minor variance application of to permit a 4-unit townhouse dwelling to be situated 58 meters, 190 feet from the rear lot line, have a maximum floor area of dwelling requirements 463 square meters, approximately 4,900 square feet, be approved, and that such approval be subject to the following conditions, and there are 2 conditions. Mover and seconder for that, please.
I'll move it,
Cerna,
I'll second it,
Galinsky, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
yes,
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
We have another minor variance. This is by Douglas McKay and Chantel Iman. Part lot 16, concession 4, municipality known as 6990 Hacienda Road, Geographic Township, Malahide. Adam, can you give us an overview, please?
Certainly, Mr. Chair. The application, I'll refer the committee to the report photo on page 43. We can see where the existing dwelling is located on the property. The weeping bed for that dwelling is located directly to the south. So there's nowhere else in accordance with the zoning bylaw for a proposed detached accessory building or a garage to be constructed. So the intent of the zoning bylaw that requires no accessory buildings such as detached garages to be located in the front yard is because when we drive through residential neighborhoods, we don't often see those types of structures in the front yards. They're behind the house. That's one reason aesthetically in neighborhood character, but also we don't want any structures for that matter too close to the front yard, because if we have snow plows throwing snow and ice in the winter months, we don't want windows being broken or any damage to structures. So this property does have a row of mature trees along the front property line. I have confirmed with the proponents that those trees are to remain. If I do refer the committee to the second page of my report, page 40 of the agenda, the proponents have provided some detailed elevation drawings, and I think those elevation drawings too, even without the trees in the way, do provide for an aesthetically pleasing or in character structure when we're driving along Hacienda Road. So the look of the structure is within character, and it's situated enough that it won't be damaged with ice, and that the existing mature trees will certainly block views and any, if snow were to be thrown that far, it would be stopping the trees. With regards to comments, we only, as of the date of writing this report, I had only received comments from the Catfish Creek that had no objection. So I've gone through the 4 tests of a minor variance and have determined that it's appropriate and meets those 4 tests, and have no concerns with the application. I did impose to the standard conditions when we're looking at something like this, is that the proponents obtain a building permit within 2 years, and that building permit should reflect what was proposed in tonight's minor variance approval. So unless there's any questions, nothing further to add to my report.
Okay, thank you, Adam. Is the applicant or agent online? I don't see. Diana, anything other than the Conservation Authority that Adam referred to?
Your worship, no further comments were received, but the applicant is actually online. I don't know if he had comments or not.
Okay.
No, I have no comments.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the committee members? All right, once again, there's a 20-day appeal period, and there is a recommendation by staff, and so mover and seconder for the recommendation by staff.
I'll move it.
Cerna,
Second.
Galinsky, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
yes,
Mayor Mennel.
Yes,
That's carried.
thank you. Now we need a mover and seconder. The Committee of Adjustment of the Township of Malahide be adjourned and council reconvene at 7:45.
Move it.
Moore, seconder. Don't be shy.
I'll second it.
Cerna, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
yes.
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
and that's carried.
thank you. Next, we have a public meeting for a zoning, change in zoning. So I need a mover and second of the public meeting concerning the zoning bylaw amendment application of Graham and Janet Sarlus relating to property located at Part Lot 9, Concession 7. Be called to order at 7:46.
I'll move it.
Widner, Moore, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky, Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
yes,
Mayor Mennel,
Yes.
and that's carried.
Thank you. This is a change in zoning. The retained remnant farm property will be zoned agricultural A2 zone. The severed dwelling property will be zoned small lot agriculture A4 zone. Applicant is Graham and Janet Sarlus, Part Lot 9, Concession 7, Malahide, municipally known as 49145 Glencoe Line. Diana, can you advise and confirm the method and date of notice, please?
Your worship, notice of the meeting was given in the prescribed manner by publication in the Elmer Express on May 12th and May 19th. In addition, affected property owners within 120 meters were sent a notice by prepaid first-class mail posted 20 days prior to the meeting.
Thank you. Adam, could you give us an overview, please?
Certainly. So this is for a surplus farmhouse severance, and council will be aware, but maybe those in the attendance might not, that when we sever a house from a farm in this manner, the requirements of the province and the applicable official plan policies is that the retained farmland is given a prohibition to any further future dwellings. So in this regard, this is it's a straightforward zoning amendment. It's done anytime the county land division committee issues a severance for a surplus farmhouse severance. The only unique issue with this application, the retained farm parcel does not meet the minimum lot area requirement of the A2 zone, which is common. So this is being placed into a special A2/9 zone that recognizes the deficient or the undersized lot area. So nothing further to add to my report unless council has any questions.
Okay, thank you. Is the agent online?
Yes, I am.
Oh, any comments?
None for me.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. Any questions from council? Hearing none. Mover and seconder, public meeting relating zoning bylaw amendment application of Graham and Janet Sarlus related to property located at Part Lot 9, Concession 7 be adjourned. Council reconvene, 7:48. Mover and
Move it.
seconder.
Jiguer, I'll second.
Jiguer and Widner, was it? All in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky, Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
Yes,
Mayor Mennel,
Yes.
carried.
Thank you. Now we need a mover and seconder report number DS 2126 entitled zoning bylaw amendment application. Graham and Janet Sarlus be received. And the zoning bylaw amendment application number D14Z04 2021. Graham and Janet Sarlus relating to property located at Part Lot 82 Concession NTR, north part of Lot 9 Concession 7 Geographic Township of Malahide, and known municipally as 49145 Glencoe Line be approved for the reasons set out in the report.
Move it.
Moved by Widner,
Second.
second by
Second.
Moore. All in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
yes,
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
carried.
thank you. And finally, mover and seconder bylaw number 2142 being a bylaw to amend zoning bylaw number 1822 insofar as it relates to property owned by Graham and Janet Sarlus located at Part Lot 9, Concession 7, given a first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed.
I'll move it.
Cerna, seconder,
I'll second.
Widner, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
yes,
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
Carried.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Nathan, for attending. I assume you will talk to the Sarlos.
Yes, I will, very much so, and have a good night, everyone.
Take care. Next we have Kathy. Is she online?
Good evening, everyone. Mayor Mennel, Deputy Mayor Jaguar, councilors. I appreciate your time this evening. I did send a PDF proposal. I don't know if everybody has that available to them, but I was going to go through it quickly if you do.
Yeah, we do have that, Kathy.
Okay, perfect. So I'll get you to slide, just the first slide there is just sort of a little artist representation of what we feel the building could become. So if we just go to the second slide there, the overview. As many of you are probably aware, the museum's opened its doors in 1977. The building that we're currently in used to be an old furniture business. So that first year saw the donation and accession of about 1,000 artifacts. Since that time, our collection has grown to over 37,000 artifacts. We just do not have room to store it in the current building. The board of directors has been looking for several years now, 10 to 15 years. We've been searching for a new suitable location. There's been many restrictions behind why we haven't moved to this date. Money is one thing for certain. A suitable location, because if we are going to move, we want to make sure that we're going to move into a space that is very highly visible, because location is everything. So if you go to the slide 3, we are looking at the Steen building downtown, which is 61-71 Talbot Street East. This building, it's a landmark. It's a perfect location for a new museum. It is downtown, it's central, very high visibility to attract more people to the museum as well as to the downtown core. The building itself would have more than double the exhibit and storage space than we have right now. And there was parking space available behind the building, which we currently don't have. Next slide, our plan. So right now the Steen building has approximately 15,000 square feet per floor, and we have the option of adding an 1,000 square foot addition onto the back of the building. We would renovate the exterior of the building, creating a pleasing facade that will reflect the history of Main Street. The interior of the building would have exhibit space on the main floor, along with a meeting room that could be used for educational programming, local groups, or private meetings. The second floor would consist of offices and small artifact storage. The basement would be used for large artifact storage. But of course, the main floor would be completely accessible in accordance with the Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act. Next one, benefits to the town. So keep in mind that this proposal was originally put together for the town of Aylmer, but I'm reusing it here for your purposes. So the museum brings in visitors from all over Ontario and beyond for our events such as the Tundra Swan viewing and the tour of homes. The museum continually works towards creating a positive tourism experience. We're very excited to be involved in the On This Spot app, which is a free app to download. And the app focuses on different cities and the history of them through interactive then and now photos and slides and a good detailed description of them. This is a central location which provide increased traffic for the museum as well as visitors to the downtown core. And the restoration of the Steen building will improve the landscape of the downtown core, making it a more inviting place. Next slide. So this was our proposal to the town of Aylmer, that the town of Aylmer agrees to transfer the ownership of the Steen building to the Aylmer Malahide Museum and Archives. That the town agrees to waive the property taxes on the Steen building under the same agreement as on our current building. That the Aylmer Malahide Museum agrees to raise all the funds required to completely restore the exterior of the building and to renovate the interior to create a welcoming and educational space for visitors. And that the Aylmer Malahide Museum and Archives agrees to continue to ethically preserve, research, and develop the collection as it applies to the history of our area through the efforts of staff and volunteers. Okay. So that is our proposal in a nutshell. What I am asking today is So basically, the board of directors and the staff of the Elmer Malahide Museum and Archives, we've been the dedicated caretakers of the collection belonging to the town of Elmer and to the township of Malahide since 1977. We've long since outgrown this current location, and with little or no room to accommodate further donations for the community engagement, we're looking to acquire a new museum by renovating the Steen building. The town of Elmer currently owns the building. We have asked them to transfer the ownership to us. And as I said before, the museum will be fully responsible for all the funding. Our museum collects archival materials and records pertaining to the history of Elmer and of Malahide, including histories at the large scale business level and at the small scale interpersonal level. This consists of photographs, letters, local publications, municipal records, and more in a wide array of media and formats. These documents are available to researchers, both public and institutional, by request, and we are currently digitizing our archival collection through a database available worldwide through a partnership with the Elgin County Museum and Elgin County Archives. Our project is estimated to cost $1.7 million. We currently hold $320,000 in startup capital, and we anticipate receiving an $850,000 grant through the Cultural Spaces Fund. So we will need to raise an additional $530,000. We will be launching a capital campaign and will approach both public and private sectors for donations. So today what we are asking is for Malahide Council to consider supporting this project and to consider matching the financial contribution of the town of Elmer in the amount of the appraised value of the property. I unfortunately do not have that appraised value yet, as town Elmer Council has not shared that figure with me, but I have ideas of what it would be. So I'm not asking for a set amount right now. I'm just asking for your consideration to, when that figure is set, your consideration to consider matching it.
Okay, Kathy, thank you for the presentation. Have you got a ballpark figure
Of what of the
of the appraised value?
appraisal? I've heard, I did not have this confirmed, but I did hear the figure of approximately $80,000 in renovations to the building that the town of Elmer has made. That is completely unsubstantiated. That was simply a figure that somebody let slip during a conversation. So I do not know if that is correct or not, but that is kind of the, that was the impression that I was given during that conversation. So possibly $80,000.
Okay, well, certainly from my point of view, Kathy, I'm a member of the museum, and I encourage you to carry on with this endeavor. I know that you're crowded for space. Certainly the downtown location would be a big improvement, not only with traffic, but for parking and give you a lot. I mean, it's almost triples your size of space you have for artifacts. So I encourage you in your presentation. I think we need to have this as a request for a grant proposal. And Arun, can you explain to Kathy on how this goes forward?
Certainly, Your Worship, through you. So we have the grant application form on our website, and typically they are open up until October. I believe you would find all the information on the website too. And then you would fill in all that application, provide the information that's on there. And then it would be reviewed. It would go to council as part of their budget deliberations, and it would then be discussed, and council would provide direction at that time.
Okay.
Any questions for Kathy from council? Seeing none. Mover and second, the presentation from Kathy Vandermeer, Office Manager at Elmer Malahide Museum and Archives relating to a new location for the Elmer Malahide Museum be received.
Move it.
Moved by Lewis, seconder,
I'll second it.
Cerna, all in favor.
Councillor Widner,
Yes.
Councillor Moore,
Yes.
Councillor Cerna,
Yes.
Councillor Lewis,
Yes.
Councillor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jaguar,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes,
That's carried.
thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Kathy. We don't have a report from emergency services, but I do want to introduce Don McLean to everyone. Don is the deputy chief, or part-time deputy chief for the township. And so in the interim that we do not have a full-time chief, Don is certainly keeping things intact. So Don, welcome, and thank you for serving us with your temporary service.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
To you, through you, Mr. Mayor, to Don. Are you the guy that wrote that song, American Pie or whatever?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe coincidence. I don't know. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have a report on the Malahide Water Distribution Service. So Matt, are you looking after that one?
Yes, that's correct. Good evening, Your Worship and Council. I do have two reports for you this evening. So firstly, Execulink supplies, operates, and maintains the wide area network on behalf of the APM group, being made up of the Elmer and Port Burwell secondary water systems and the township water and sewer systems. So in essence, this wide area network allows for connectivity of the sensitive water and sewer system components for monitoring by the SCADA system, and allows for remote operation of the infrastructure devices listed in the report for the respective owners. So Execulink was the original constructor of the system and accordingly has significant infrastructure in place to the benefit of the system. This contract in question was renewed with Execulink in 2012 and again in 2018. And as this 3-year contract expires in 2021, staff obtained a quotation from Execulink for a further 3-year renewal, which we are pleased that it came in at no cost increase from the previous extension. So in this extension, there is one site being added to the system, being the new OPC pumping station, which revises the township's share of the contract from a 2/10 share to a 3/11, as this cost of the contract is split between the benefiting APM members based on the number of sites they receive benefit for. So while the status quo is working, this being a contract renewal period, staff looked to obtain a separate quotation to add cellular failover to the contract for sites with connectivity issues to account for periods when the system may go down for one reason or another. The Malahide sites are not candidates for the cellular failover, so would not be subject to any rate increase for this provision, whether option A or option B is selected by the respective water boards. So in summary, staff are very pleased with the service provided by Execulink, and as this system is integral to the operation of sensitive water and sewer facility operation, which does require round-the-clock monitoring and support, which is an important part of the contract above only being a network connection. So accordingly, staff recommend the contract be renewed as at no cost increase from the prior contract, providing the acceptance is also endorsed by the Elmer Secondary and Port Burwell secondary systems at next week's meeting. I'd be happy to answer any questions council may have.
Okay, thank you. I see the two options, A and B. There's obviously $500 difference. What's the advantage of B over A?
So as it relates to the township, there will be no difference because the devices that we have connected to the system aren't candidates that require this additional service, being a cellular failover. The cellular failover option will be may be added to the Elmer and Port Burwell systems because of connectivity issues that occur on their sites. So it basically, if the system goes down, there's a backup system available to keep connection to store the important trending data that occurs. So that would apply to the Elmer and Port Burwell systems and not necessarily the township systems.
Okay, so option A is adequate?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. All right, questions for Matt? Seeing none. Mover and seconder, report number PW 2128 entitled Malahide Distribution System, Malahide Sewer Collection System, APAM SCADA Wide Area Network be received. Mayor and deputy mayor or deputy clerk be authorized to direct to renew the existing APAM SCADA Wide Area Network Agreement for a term of 3 years and to execute the necessary documents with Execulink, subject to the acceptance of the other partner municipalities of the portion. Mover and seconder.
Move it.
Lewis, seconder.
I'll second it.
Serna, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Serna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Jager,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes,
That's carried.
thank you. And Matt, you've got the bike track.
Yes, through you, your worship. In this good news report, the Tracy Street Park rehab was included in the 2021 budget to receive new play equipment and to construct a bike pump track. The township was successful in receiving 100% funding for the project and accordingly went ahead with soliciting quotes for the various park items. This report speaking to the construction of the bike pump track. As there are very few players in this space in Ontario, township staff were in contact with Transitions Bike Park in 2020 for development of concept designs and budget estimates that were used for the funding applications. So in order to ensure competitive pricing, staff requested quotations from qualified contractors for the work and received the 2 bids shown in the report, and additionally received 1 no bid response due to a full 2021 schedule from that contractor. Staff recommend awarding this project to Transitions Bike Park for $72,765, noting that Transitions has confirmed that they'll be using local subcontractors for the required work and are able to commence immediately in order to satisfy the terms of the 100% funding, which require the work to be completed before the end of the 2021 calendar year. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thanks, Matt. And the good news is that it's not coming out of township budget. How do you explain the difference between the 2 bidders being 3 times one or the other?
Well, I don't know the absolute details of the second bid. With an understanding of the industry, there are very few players in this space. So similar to other trades, they're all booked up for the year, basically. And a bid like this does suggest to me that it's a case of here you go and keep us on your contact list, but we can't fit you into our schedule this year. Is how I read into it.
Okay. Any questions for Adam? Mark, did you have a question?
Yeah, if we're done with the park, are we?
No, I got one
In regard to the big track.
No, I think it's a great idea. It's gonna be a real asset for Springfield.
Scott, you have a question?
Yeah, through your worship. Just wondering, so who oversees this project, Matt? Will this be you or will this be Chris that'll be overseeing this from start to finish?
So through you, your worship, it will be the Parks Department that'll be intimately involved, which the facilities manager, Chris Cox, will have direct involvement together with Frank. And we often meet as a department to review all the aspects of the department. So I will also be involved in the oversight.
Yep, alrighty, thank you.
Any other questions for Matt? Seeing none. Mover and seconder, report number PW 21-33 entitled Award of Contract Tracy Street Park Rehabilitation Bike Track be received, and the bike pump track construction be awarded to Transition Bike Park Inc. at a cost of $72,765 plus HST. Mayor and deputy clerk be authorized to enter an agreement with Transition Bike Park for the purpose of constructing a bike pump track as a component of the capital reconstruction of Tracy Street Park.
Move it.
Moved by Moore, seconder.
Second it.
Lewis, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Serna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky, Deputy Mayor Jager,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes,
That's carried.
thank you. Now, the next one for the feasibility for the portable water to Springfield. Matt, are you doing that one or is Adam?
I am, your worship. So
Go ahead.
in 2020, council completed the service delivery and organizational review, and amongst the various recommendations, one of the recommendations was a strong encouragement that to facilitate future growth, an increased assessment for the township that council look into servicing Springfield with water, and possibly an increase with the sanitary system through a third-party review and assessment and a business plan in order to make sure it's feasible for the township council and its residents from a financial perspective, as well as a social and environmental perspective. So we issued an RFP for proposals and we received three. We received three very good proposals. I would like to reiterate that this is not a study to say where or how and when the pipe is going to be put in the ground, but this is the business plan. Is it going to be feasible? How do we finance it? How do we cost share it? How do we make this as much less of an impact, especially financially, on our ratepayers in the community if we are going to move forward with something like this? So this is not the environmental assessment stage. This is a pre-assessment to determine its feasibility and give ourselves the business and game plan in order to make it financially feasible. So we received three valid and quality submissions. We did rank them. It was myself, Matt, and Arun who reviewed the technical proposals and then reviewed the pricing proposals. And the successful bidder was WT Infrastructure Solutions Incorporated out of Guelph. This is a small firm that has had previous experience working in this area, notably in Haldeman and Norfolk County. They do have staff who live in St. Thomas and have experience in similar projects. So staff is recommending that WT Infrastructure Solutions Incorporated be awarded this project. So unless there's any further questions, there's nothing further to add to my report.
Thank you, Adam. Questions for Adam on this one?
I have a question, Mayor Manel. How does this report by this consultant firm differ from the report that we had earlier in the year?
Through you, Your Worship. Councillor Glenski, could you clarify the report that was earlier in the year?
I forget the name of the firm, but it was sponsored by the government. And they suggested that we should be looking at developing the Springfield area.
This is on the service delivery review you're talking about, Chess? The service delivery review?
That's correct.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going more in depth. The service delivery review just suggested that this is a possible option for us. This is the next step saying, okay, let's look a little deeper. Can we justify this? Can we pay for it and not have a burden on our taxpayers?
If I might add, Your Worship, the other report that also spoke to this, even in advance of the service delivery review, was the development charges background study from, the firm escapes me, but that was, there was also a strong recommendation in that background study too, that servicing Springfield would assist with funding services and programs of the township.
I have a question, Mayor Manel.
Go ahead, Jess.
We have $55,968 in our budget for this purpose, or is this going to be in next year's budget?
Adam or Arun, who's to speak to that?
Through you, Your Worship, this is captured in this year's budget, so it has no implications on the budget.
Any other questions for Adam? Seeing none. Mover and seconder report number DS 2129 entitled Request for Proposal DS 2101 Feasibility Analysis and Action Plan for Portable Water Distribution to the Village of Springfield be received. Feasibility Analysis and Action Plan project be awarded to WT Infrastructure Solutions, Inc. of Guelph in the amount of $55,968 plus HST. Director of Development Service be authorized and directed to take the necessary action to enter an agreement with WT Infrastructure Solutions, Inc. to undertake the feasibility analysis and action plan as set out in the proposal. Mover and seconder, please. Lewis, seconder.
I'll second.
Gare, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
carried.
thank you. Next, we have 12 items on correspondence. Anyone wish to make comment or endorse? There's no burning issues. The motion to receive and file.
I'll move it.
Moved by Cerna, seconder.
Second.
Moore, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
yes,
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
that's carried.
thank you. Any other business before we go into bylaws? Rick,
I do,
go ahead.
Mr. Mayor. Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. There is a taco stand located on Springfield Road, just as you go down the hill south of number 3 highway. And I'm getting a few complaints from people down there that these big tractor trailers are parking on the side of the road to go and get a taco, right? Because they can't fit in the parking lot there. It is apparently, I inquired, it is zoned for the purpose, but when you get trucks parking on a hillside by an intersection to go get a taco, it's kind of dangerous. So I was wondering if we could look into putting some no parking signs up there or something like that. So these guys, because there's a lot of traffic. They're going to Underhills, they're going to Thiessen's, they're going all over the place. And they're stopping in there all the time, parking on the side of the road. And I just, it's not a good intersection to begin with. And I'm just wondering if we could do something about it. Thank you.
Matt, do you want to respond to that?
Through you, your worship, staff would be happy to look into that issue. We'll take that note and review some distances and can come back to and report back to council on that.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Any
I'm
other?
gonna step up if I could.
Go ahead, Mark.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This was the first week of our new garbage provider, Miller Waste. And there's a few hiccups for sure. I guess there was supposed to be a mailer put out, but I guess it's out now. I just got mine today.
I got mine today too.
So it would have been nicer to have a week ago. Would have saved
I
a lot.
got phone calls.
Yeah, I'm sure would have. But there's another problem on social media. We're really getting beat up because the perception out there is that we fired our old provider, and that's certainly not true. They gave us notice, but I think that needs to be put out there that, you know, that isn't the case, and we don't need to be beat up for that because that is not the way it went. So hopefully with the new flyer sent up today, maybe those headaches will be gone. It's going to be a learning curve for sure, but seemed fairly efficient. So we'll see how next week goes. Thank you.
I think within the month, everybody will be accustomed to putting it out
Right.
every other week.
Yeah.
Anything else on other business? Okay, we'll go to bylaws. Mover and seconder bylaw number 21-44 being a bylaw to authorize the execution of an agreement with the county of Elgin to utilize the county's fire training officer, community emergency management coordinator to develop and implement an emergency management program, be given a first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed.
Move it.
Moved by Lewis, seconder
Yeah.
Gare, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky, Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
that's carried.
thank you. And another bylaw, because we split the duties between the CAO and the deputy clerk. Now, mover and seconder bylaw number 2146 being a bylaw to appoint an acting clerk for Malahide Township, be given a first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed.
Move it.
Moore, seconder,
I'll second it.
Galinsky, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Yes,
Deputy Mayor Jiguer,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel,
Yes,
That's carried.
Thank you. Anything else before we go into close? Mover and seconder, the council moving to closed session at 8:20. Pursuant to section 239-2 of the Municipal Act 2001, as amended, discuss the following. One, the personnel matter about an identified individual, including a municipal or local board employee relating to Malahide Fire Services, personnel policies and procedure. And two, labor relations or employee negotiations relating to Malahide Fire Service recruitment.
Move
Mover
it.
and seconder, please.
Move it.
Widner, seconder.
I'll second it.
Cerna, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky, Deputy Mayor Jager,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
Thank you. Okay. During the closed session, the council provided directions to the municipal staff regarding a personnel matter about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees relating to Malahide Fire Services, personnel policies, procedures, and there is nothing further to report. So I need a mover and second on bylaw number 2143, being a confirmatory bylaw, be given the first, second, third reading, properly signed and sealed.
I'll move it.
Cerna,
Second it.
Lewis, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky,
Oh,
Deputy Mayor Jager,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
Thank you. And finally, council adjourned its meeting at 9:15 to meet again on June 17th at 7:30. Galinsky and Widner, all in favor?
Counselor Widner,
Yes.
Counselor Moore,
Yes.
Counselor Cerna,
Yes.
Counselor Lewis,
Yes.
Counselor Galinsky, Deputy Mayor Jager,
Yes.
Mayor Mennel.
Yes.
That's carried.
Thank you. Good meeting, folks. Thank you all for attending.
Thank
Good